What happens when 1 is divided by 0? You all know now what happens when 1 is divided by 0. We learnt about it, isn't it? I told you that. I'm going to come back with part 2 of that. 1 divided by 100, right? So all of you know that when you divide 1 by 100, it is 0.01. And I once again divide 1 by 10. So if I divide 1 by 10, it becomes 0.1. And then I divided 1 by 1. My answer is 1. So likewise, I divided 1 this time by 0.1. So what will be the answer? So, 1 divided 0.1 can be written as 1 over 10. So when you have a fraction, you have to take the reciprocal and multiply. It will be 1 into 10 over 1, which is 10. Right? Right. So 1 divided by 0.1 is 10. So the next one, 1 divided by 0.01. So according to the same idea, your answer will be 100. Now you can understand where I am going here, right? 1 divided by 0.001, it will be 1000. Children, what happens when I divide by 1 by 0.0001? It will be 10,000 according to this pattern. In all these ones, I have divided 1 by a certain number. Now look at that divisor here. 100, 10, 1, 0.1, 0.01, 0.001. Likewise. Can you understand what's happening to the divisor? Yes, it is decreasing, isn't it? But we can express it as it's getting much more closer to 0. And look at what happens when it gets closer to 0. Look at the answers here. 0.01, 0.1, 1, 10, 100, 1000, 10,000. What's happening? When the divisor gets smaller, the answer gets higher. So which means when my divisor gets much more closer to 0, my answer increases. But children, what you have to recognize here is that I will never be able to get to 0. I can get closer to 0 but not to 0, which means I will never be able to divide this number by 0, right? But in an imaginary world, if I was able to, that means this number will be much more higher number, which we can't even think of. That is why once again we can say that 1 divided by 0 is undefined. Now someone might say that we can consider it as infinity. Yes, but there is a problem. Now this is going to get to infinity, or rather positive infinity. Right? It is because I am dividing it by plus 1. But I can do it for the minus 1 as well. If I divide by minus 1, children, these answers will be minus. That means depending on the positive or the negative value, when I divide it by 0, it will either go to positive infinity or negative infinity. So you can't consider it as infinity. Therefore, once again we say 1 divided by 0 is undefined.